Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 134 of the Geeks with Wise podcast. I'm your host this week, Joe Barhoum, and I'm joined by four amazing people. Starting on the left side, from my perspective anyway, is Andrew Barton, the Associate Editor of Video Games at Geeks with Wives.
Hi, Joe. How's it going today?
It's going really well. Howdy back, Andrew, from Portland.
Thank you.
We say howdy now because of you. It's infiltrating our society. And next up is our guest this week. No one else is happy about it. And I'd also like to introduce our guest this week, actor extraordinaire. You'll know him from InFamous Second Son, the voice of Hank, David Stambra.
Hey, guys.
Awesome to have you. This is amazing. Seriously, this is great.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. We'll talk about that. I will totally call you out, make you commit to coming back on the show live on air. It's great. And then we're also joined by everyone's favorite couple, Victoria Sherry and Grant Gustafsson. Yes, I listened to last week's episode. I know how to pronounce her last name, unlike Kenny.
Oh, I missed you.
So for those of you who haven't been to our website lately, geekswithwives.com, Victoria is featured as our cosplayer of the month.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
It's pretty amazing. So question though, Victoria, did you interview yourself?
I did, because I asked Grant if he wanted to do it because it's super awkward trying to talk to myself and write it down. So,
and I just said it's more awkward if I try to talk to you.
Yeah, so we just decided we'd better find it.
Right on. Yeah, no problem. So let's go around the horn and talk about the games that we're playing this week, and then we'll cover our topic this week, which is David, to talk about his career, what's coming up for him in the future, and then a lot about InFamous, because we really want to know the details of how that was produced, the voice acting, and the motion capture, that perspective of the game. So let's start with Mr. Andrew Barton, Associate Editor of Video Games at geekswithwives.com. Andrew, Lego Marvel. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. I've been playing it co-op with my wife. We both really enjoy the Marvel movies that have been coming out, like gangbusters recently. And so as our dear friend Casey over at Geeks with Wives and Capes has been dragging me back into comic book fandom. I've found this video game maybe is a good way to suck my wife in with me, and so far it's been working actually. But it's been a lot of fun. Those Lego games, they have a great sense of humor. They are just a crazy collection fest. And also they can be a little bit glitchy and weird at times. So it's been fun, not without its own hassles though. But pretty enjoyable. Great humor. Lots of fun.
That's great. So you're playing co-op with your wife?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. On PS4? On
PS4, yeah.
Okay.
I only have the one controller, so we've got the Vita logged in for remote play. And then the one controller I have is logged in as a guest, so that way we can both play, one on the Vita and one on the controller. The Vita is set up to actually mirror the screen, so you can look at the TV or at the Vita screen if you have that. But it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of a cool workaround for only having the one controller. So.
Well, InFamous Second Son is a game we'll talk a lot about today, and we've already covered it quite a bit. But I played InFamous Second Son on my Vita using remote play, because there were just times where that was more convenient around the house.
Sure. And,
I struggled a little bit with the rear touchpad. You touch the top for simulating L2 or R2 and the bottom for simulating the third button. Is that an issue with Lego, or are the buttons pretty simple?
The R2 button is a dodge for certain characters, and then for other characters who can't dodge, it's basically useless. So the back touchpad is mapped to that R2 button. So occasionally, my wife is mostly the one who's playing with the Vita, and she'll occasionally touch that and just start dodging, and it'll be really funny because she'll leave her hand on it and just start dodging across the screen, and she just, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Gotta adjust your grip, honey. But that's really the only issue that I've had with it, which is honestly a good thing, because if all the characters had that, I could see it being a little bit frustrating. But since only 2 or 3 characters, that's really an issue.
Right on, right on. Well, are you playing anything else before we move on? Let's take a little bit of Dead Nation.
Yes, been playing Dead Nation. Been doing that online co-op with a couple of geeks here from the show, and then also some people who just I reached out on Twitter and people said, yeah, play with me. So, but that's been a lot of fun, man. I really love that game. I got it back for the PlayStation 3 back when it was free after the whole hacking thing.
Right.
Brought the PSN down for 2 months.
Yeah.
But I played that game, had so much fun with it back then, and then when it was free for the PS4, I thought, man, yeah, I'm gonna play it, gonna relive those old memories. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I forgot how hard that game is. I just jumped in. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great. I know where everything is. It turns out my memory's not that great. So I can't find anything, and I'm dying a lot. But it is a lot of fun. Really enjoying it.
Andrew, let me ask you a question. What does it mean to you that Grant and I can't get people to play Reaper of Souls with us right now, but you can get people to play Dead Nation with you? I mean, really, what's going on there? One is free and one is not?
Yeah, maybe something to do with the free, maybe something to do with the PS4 is maybe just a little bit more hot in right now. I don't have a gaming PC, otherwise I would play Reaper of Souls with you guys.
Okay.
But, if you guys want to hop on Dead Nation, I'd be happy to play with you there.
Right on, right on. Cool. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate you sharing what you're playing. And we're going to move on now to David Stambra, our guest this week, voice actor from InFamous Second Son, as well as a regular actor, a traditional actor, as we are all familiar with. David, talk to us a little bit about the games you're playing. I believe you mentioned you're playing Call of Duty Ghosts, as well as InFamous Second Son. I'm surprised you're playing InFamous of all the games you could choose from.
Yeah, well, there was definitely some. I had to play InFamous. I had to beat that. I still have an evil playthrough to do on InFamous. I only did the good playthrough so far, and I had a blast. I mean, I had a blast playing that game. I really did, and I'm not saying that just because I'm in it, but I would say it even if I didn't. But I've been playing Call of Duty Ghosts, which I have no fucking idea. Can I say that on?
Why not? Let's just do it.
Why? I have no idea why I play Call of Duty Ghosts. I play the online multiplayer. I'm terrible at it. It's so frustrating. But it's a good way to hang out with my friends that I don't get to see that often, So.
Oh, man, that was too funny. So talk to me about InFamous, though, because what's it like playing a game that you're in?
It's insane. It's like, because I played video games since I was young, and I'll be playing the game, and then when the cutscenes come along, it's like it's very much we'll watch it, but some on the phone or something. Brothers, a million years, really fun.
So, David, we're losing you a little bit. You're breaking up. Could you actually repeat everything you just said over the last 60 seconds? The last thing we heard was cutscenes. We're still having a little bit of trouble with you, David. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll pause on David. We'll move over to Victoria, and then David will come back to you once I see that your video is corrected. Another option is you could drop and come back on. That might correct it. So, Victoria, you're playing, oh my gosh, am I reading this right? Disney Magic World?
Disney Magical World. Thank you very much.
It's Magical World, sorry.
So I had no intention. I didn't even know what this game was and when it was coming out. But I noticed it was starting to sell out at all these GameStops, and I was like, okay. So apparently, now that I have it, it's like Animal Crossing meets a really light version of Kingdom Hearts in a sense. There's no like villains per se, like the Heartless that you're beating up, but there's these things called ghosts, and you get to go into these different Disney worlds. But also there's this one main hub where like I'm planting vegetables in the 100-acre woods with Winnie the Pooh and Rabbit and growing them for my cafe and cooking and stuff. And then I get to go on quests for different items. I fish with Donald Duck. I get to go to the ball with Cinderella. It's pretty awesome. And Aladdin has rescued me from a cave that was about to come crumbling down. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is a lot like Animal Crossing to me in a sense. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it sounds dumb, and I probably made it sound worse, but it's really fun, and I think people should get into it. I had Stitch come to my cafe today, and it was the best thing ever.
Okay, well, that is the strangest thing I've ever heard. You should work at a video game store. I think that would really be a good fit for you.
Yeah, I know. You should come by too and cancel reserves on me all the time. I'm just saying.
I found a better deal.
You were my only cancel today. Anyway.
No, the better deal would be not to buy that game, Joe. That's the better deal.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes. That's great, V. So you're playing Disney's Magical World, and it is as magical as you're saying it is.
Yes, it is. It's very magical.
All right, let's talk some more sane video games here. Grant, you're playing Marvel Heroes. Yep. We've never talked about that on the show. Can we? All right.
Let's do a full overview.
We're actually going to be doing a one-year special article for Marvel Heroes on behalf of Gazillion Games. We're really excited about that. We'll have some giveaways to go along with it, so keep your eyes open for that. If you're huge fans of Marvel Heroes like we are, then find us. We have a guild or a team or whatever they call it.
Superhero group.
Supergroup. Something. Yeah. I don't know. We can come up with a really good name on the spot. I don't know. We'll think about it. So anyway, yeah, it'd be great to have you guys play with us. But Grant, let's talk about the other game you're playing, which is Rogue Shooter.
Mm-hmm. Rogue Shooter. It's an RPG roguelike shooter. So think Doom, and then think Rogue Legacy, and kind of mash those together. Rogue Legacy is a game where you run through dungeons. It's a side scroller, and when you die, you're taken over by your ancestor or whatever, or your lineage. And in this game, I actually didn't die, so I don't know what that's like. I haven't died yet, but I'm assuming you just come back as another person. I don't think it's your family or anything like that. But the interesting thing is all the different weapons they have. It's not like a crazy amount. It's a pretty small game. You can kind of tell as they went with the pretty retro, like cel-shaded graphics. There's no like aiming up and down. It is super Doom, which is awesome. I love that. And the sort of infinite replayability is really cool. Like on the easiest difficulty, it says in quotations, there's only 50 levels, which is awesome. I don't even know what's on the other difficulties because I was playing the demo and I didn't get to them. But there's like shotguns, there's crazy monsters that I've never seen in anything else. So I'm like learning about how to dodge their attacks, or if they even have ranged attacks, and it's kind of a wild experience.
So I just looked it up so I can get a better idea of what you're describing. So it's literally corridor shooter like Doom.
Yeah.
And then it has Borderlands type cel-shaded graphics on top of it.
Yeah.
The map looks amazing.
It's super cool.
Yeah, the map looks really great. So
the only thing that would make it better is co-op.
Oh, there's no co-op. Wow.
No.
Maybe they get some more money. Yeah. That's really cool. So it's made by a developer called Hippomancer. They're self-published. You can get it on Steam right now for $5, you said?
Yeah, so it's going to be $10, but until May 1st, you can get it for $5.
I'm buying it right now. You see that? Oh, this is dedication to the craft.
Awesome.
This looks great. So there's no swords or anything. It's purely guns.
Not that I've seen.
Oh, there's a sword right here in this image. All right, I'm buying it. Yep.
Sweet.
That's all it takes, my friend, is a sword. That's awesome. That looks really fun, Grant. Are you playing anything else right now?
So other than Marvel Heroes and that, I'm playing. Well, I played over the weekend. There was a free weekend for Rising Storm, which is a multiplayer FPS set in the engine of Red Orchestra 2.
Oh,
Which
nice.
is a PC game from like 2008
Heck yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that game has some really cool ideas. Like, just the realism of how like scared I would be with a gun on a map with other guys with guns.
Yeah.
That's the way I felt, but it's bogged down with a lot of technical issues. Like, I'm surprised as many people play as they do. I guess it just kind of proves that good gameplay is kind of number one over presentation sometimes. But personally, I don't think I'll buy it or anything. But it was a fun experience.
That's awesome. That's very cool. So Andrew, great to have you back. We'll give David another couple of minutes, so I'll talk to you guys about the game I'm playing right now. So I'm a huge Spider-Man fan in the weirdest way. I just have memories as a child of loving Spider-Man, and I haven't really gotten into the comic books until literally the last week. I started reading the Spider-Man comic books that Casey from the Geeks with Wise and Cape show, it's on Thursday nights, recommended. And it's way cool. I'm starting to dig the character in ways that I never knew existed. His humor and his body language, things of that nature that I just never. Yeah. All right. Absolutely. Thanks, Andrew. As an oddly placed, absolutely, but that's okay. We'll go with it. So anyway, I started playing the Spider-Man 2 video game on my iPhone, or actually my iPad, in anticipation for the release of Beanock's version of the game, which is on consoles and PC. Came out today, April 29th. So I started playing this iOS version, and which one weird thing, I have a Tegra 4 powered Android tablet that's designed for gaming, and the Spider-Man game is not compatible with it. I don't know why. It's weird. So anyway, I bought it on iOS, my work iPad. So it's now my work iPad has games on it. So anyway, I started playing it, and it felt and played like the Spider-Man games you would expect, which traditionally the mobile version of Spider-Man games not like that. Have you guys ever played any of the mobile Spider-Man games?
Not at all.
No.
Okay, I don't blame you. So they're basically, you walk into a small area, you do a battle. It's very linear. They made an open world Spider-Man game on mobile. It's made by Gameloft, which is, they're very well known. They're maybe the most successful mobile gaming company out there, unless you count Blizzard now, because of Hearthstone. So, but anyway, that was a joke. So, I do that a lot. So I can't believe it. It's open world. It's a Spider-Man game. You're swinging around the city. You're gripping into the sky with your webs, right, like normal, and you're having these battles, and it's pretty darn good. The thing that kills the game is that it's $5, which is fine, but then if you want to buy a new suit, it's like $9 for another suit. I mean, that's crazy to me. The microtransactions are... It's like Marvel Heroes. Maybe it's just a Marvel thing. Maybe we shouldn't be blaming Gazillion for the prices. Maybe it's Marvel, dictating these prices.
It's like, it's gotta be at least $9.
Well, you got to pay for his appearance in the game, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the mobile version. It's actually pretty darn good. I like it. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of little things you can do. I mean, it's just like any Spider-Man game you've ever played on a console.
Nice.
So now let's fast forward to the Spider-Man game, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 on console and PC. So the joke we made earlier about canceling reservations at GameStop, I actually pre-ordered the game at GameStop through Victoria the other day because I wanted to get the DLC that came with it, which included 4 or 5 different suits. I don't care about the suits except for one, and that's the symbiote suit. I love it. I think it's the coolest thing in the world. Seeing Spider-Man in the black suit, I could stare at that forever. That's my heaven. I think it's the coolest thing in the world. So I got a problem. So anyway, so I go there, I reserve it, and it's $60, which I'm fine paying. And then I'm browsing around on Steam today and notice it's $40 on Steam, plus it includes the DLC. Well, normally I would not get a PC game that I could get on a console, except I do now have a PC Xbox 360 controller, which works fantastically well on games that support it. That's the caveat. So with that being said, I started playing the game today, and I got an hour into it, and that's when you get to the point where you can unlock your wardrobe and the DLC becomes active, and I slap on that symbiote suit and realize it's not quite right. So they got all the graphics and art right. I mean, he has a little white pad on his wrist, all that kind of stuff, but he looks all muscular and just odd. He looks like a bodybuilder and it just doesn't fit, right? You want the suit to be smooth and sleek,
Yeah.
but it's kind of awkward. So
That's
that was a
weird.
bit of a letdown, but regardless of that, it's cool because each suit has different powers, and if, for example, the Noir suit is really good for stealth, but the game it's subpar. Just put that out there. It looks really great. It's not smooth. The frame rate can be a little herky-jerky, and I've got a really powerful machine, relatively. But the game just seems a little bit odd. For example, if you're climbing on walls, let's say you're scaling a building and you're going to go inside the building to rescue people because the building is burning down. You can't go from climbing on the wall into the window. You have to jump into the window, which is not a seamless transit. You can't just press the jump button when you're next to the window and go into it. You have to jump out, swing, and go in.
Oh.
So, and you got a timer, right? You got an hourglass, and you got these people burning, and you can only carry one person.
Spider-Man sitting out the window, like splatting on the window,
Right.
like, missing every time.
Right. Like I get the idea of they want to make it challenging or whatever, but to enjoy a Spider-Man game, it has to be fluid,
Yeah.
right? You have to be able to swing comfortably. Quickly change from swinging to climbing a building or jumping into a room, trying to, you're dodging bullets, you're dodging knives. Like, it's supposed to be smooth and seamless, and it's not. And it all kind of hit me when I was playing the game. And I put about 2.5 to 3 hours into it today. It hit me. This is why Beanox completely ignored me when I was trying to get them to get on our podcast, or at least get me a copy of the game so I can review it. I'm not alone. IGN, all those other websites that aren't as cool as us, none of them have a review of the game. I could literally be the first one to review by the end of this week. Google it. Google Amazing Spider-Man 2 game review. There's not one review out there.
Have you played other of the Beanox Spider-Man games?
I have. So I played Web of Shadows. I played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which I thought was pretty fun. Actually, the second ever game review for GeeksWithWives.com was Shattered Dimensions. The very first was Red Dead Redemption. Keep that. That's a trivia question for episode 200. That's the grand prize. Write it down.
70 weeks to go.
Yeah, we're almost there. So I have played those games, and I like them. I think they're good. But the Beanox, as far as I never played Amazing Spider-Man 1. I think that was their first attempt at a open world Spider-Man game. Am I right?
Sounds right to me, Joe.
Okay. Well, assuming that was, they got some more time they need to put into the game development queue. I think they're not quite ready for open world. Whenever you get into an instanced situation where you're battling, little car thieves or people who are trying to kidnap young women, it's actually really good. The combat's pretty fun. It plays a lot like the Arkham Asylum series, or the Arkham series, I should say. But otherwise, the regular swinging around stuff's not very good. There's only 4 different types of encounters around the city. If you guys have played other Spider-Man games, the knockoff games that were based on the movies, the movies by what's his name, Sam Raimi, they were all very similar, but there are a lot of things you can do, and it was endless. This game is literally 3 hours of campaign and 4 different types of encounters around the city.
3 hours?
3 hours.
Oh my
People
gosh.
great beating the game.
So
Yeah.
who published it? Do you know? Is it Activision or something?
Yeah, it was Activision.
Okay. I don't know. It might have a little Tony Hawk Activision syndrome where
Oh,
the
very well
budget
could.
was super bad.
Yeah, it very well could. I just don't get it. My last comment on the game is this. They knew they were going to make a bunch of money because it's a video game based on a movie. But look at what Batman, the Arkham series, has done, right? That it's on its own as fantastic, and in some ways it's better than elements of the movies, elements of the comics, elements of the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's taken on a life of its own, and people love it, right? They could do this with Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of the most recognizable heroes in the world. They've got and they did a great job. Beanox did with the other Spider-Man games that were not open world. So I think they could have done a lot better.
They had nobody.
InFamous did it, which is a great segue. David, we lost you there for a minute when you were talking about your play experience with InFamous Second Son. I think I asked you the question, what it's like playing a game that you're in. I'd love to hear your response. So, David, we can't hear you. I don't know if... Oh, there you are. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, thanks for coming back on. Appreciate it. Can you hear me at all?
Thanks for having me. It's cutting out, so hopefully it'll work. I can hear you. Yeah, there's sometimes it's sort of like choppy, but
Yeah, there's quite a bit of feedback.
yeah, it was amazing. It was like watching. Okay, let me try switching back to my other headphones and see if that works.
Yeah, no problem.
Hold tight.
No problem at all. We don't have the equipment that they have
Is
at
that
the.
better?
One more time.
Is that any better?
Oh, that's way better. That's way better. All right, let's do this. So, David,
The headphones because.
talk to us about your experience playing a game that you were in.
All right. It was awesome. It was you know, like the cutscenes were amazing. Just like watch, it was so much fun to watch. But then, what was great the game, and I don't, you know, I love parts were coming in and out. Sometimes I'd be playing the game like that, and it was just going up playing. I never in 1,000 years thought I'd be seeing myself in one of those games. When I came to LA to be an actor, I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to pursue video games. You know what I mean? I didn't even think of it as a viable option, I guess, you know. So to actually be playing in a game was, I still get surprised every time I see myself on it.
Yeah, I imagine that you do. So, how long was that process for you to be, you know, filming, motion captioning, I should say, and audio recording? How long were you on the job?
God, I had 2 years from auditioning to finished product.
Wow.
Honestly, I was trying to remember when I actually auditioned, and you know, because the first thing I did was record a flashback where you sort of get Hank's backstory, and it's like a comic illustration. You know, that was like probably the very first thing I ever recorded, and we did a lot of, you know, VO first, and then we'd go do motion capture, and then you'd have to wait, you know, a couple months. Back, you do more motion. 2 years. Coming through.
It's a little bit choppy. I think, David, what we should do, if it's all right with you, is do an off-air interview.
Sure. Yeah. Am I still cutting out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
A little
about
bit.
that.
Oh no, it happens. Believe me, it's not the first time this has happened on our show. It happens all the time. So would it be all right if I just reach out to you after the show tonight? We schedule some time to do an off-air interview.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, you're the man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I guess look out for an email from me tonight. You're welcome to stay on if you'd like. I'm just not sure if we can have a full conversation.
Yeah. You know, I'm at my folks' house right. Like the low end available.
Oh.
Internet, so.
Yeah, that happens. You can also.
They're definitely not.
Oh, that's brutal. And my parents don't even have internet, so I'm not joking. They literally do not have internet. So, yeah, no worries. Well, David, we appreciate you taking the time out to be on the show, and I'll reach out to you. So everyone listening and watching, we're going to have David back on. We'll do a special interview. There'll be audio only, and we'll get it done here pretty soon so you guys can get your questions answered. Thanks, David. Really appreciate it. All right, so Andrew Victoria Grant.
Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you very much.
David.
So guys, really apologize about that interview. That just happens sometimes. We're trying to do a show live, so we really do greatly apologize for it. But hey, we're not covering the lunar landing. This is just a video games podcast, so nothing to worry about there. Let's go ahead and transition to a different topic this week. I'd like to talk to everybody about. I am literally trying to think of a topic right now. Let's go to our website. geekswithwives.com.
Joe.
All right. So we've got yes.
We have a topic.
Fantastic. I love it.
One.
So
All right.
I've been tossing this around with Kenny too for a while, but I was thinking about it, and there are some video games that I think are going to be better series as opposed to movies. And what brought this up was that BioShock was being tossed around as becoming a movie, and there's this whole thing where they wanted it to be PG-13 because it was going to make more money, but the production company was like, how can you make a Bioshock movie and not have it rated R? And I really don't think you could. But I was wondering, does anybody have opinions on, like, you know, what would make it better if video games became movies as opposed to TV series? Because The Walking Dead and stuff like that has such a huge following, and it's so gruesome. And like me, Bioshock, as much as I thought I would want it as a movie, I think if we had like a series called Rapture, and it just tore into some gruesome details, just like The Walking Dead does or Hannibal, I think would be amazing. And I think there's a lot of video games that would be better. Like everybody wants a Halo movie, but the Halo series, that little snippet they did, I can't remember what it's called, turned out to be magnificent. So what are some, I don't know, that you guys feel like you'd like to see maybe some of your favorite series turned into either movies or TV series?
So, Victoria, I can answer that question. Before I do that, I want to tell you that I think you're spot on, and I'll tell you exactly why. Video games are not a 1-hour commitment. They're not a 2-hour commitment. On average, they're a 10-hour commitment, sometimes more. So if you're going to translate something that has, you know, for the sake of an example here, this much content into something that's only this long, you're going to have issue. And if you want to capture the feel, if you want to capture, you know, the characters and the emotion of the place that they're in, and really draw that out, something as rich as Rapture, or as rich as the social issues in the world of Walking Dead, you have to have more time. So that's why I think you're right. Now, games that I can think of, man, there are several that I can think of, but most of which are video game related or superhero related, like Marvel Heroes. I want to see a Marvel Heroes series. That's a joke for Grant. But I think Diablo would be maybe the very coolest. Oh, David. Okay, David's
I totally
idea.
agree.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is Grant and I love that game.
Yeah.
That would be a fantastic series.
Yep.
That's one of the first things that popped into my head. That is a show that a game that they should make as a rated R movie, not a PG-13 movie.
Right.
It just builds the atmosphere so much when you can have that you know, Wild West kind of feel to it, but not hokey, but you know, cussing and blood and you know the kind of feel that they were going for in that. It needs to be that kind of hard spaghetti western kind of feel. And speaking of Bioshock, I was thinking, Victoria, as you were talking, a TV show versus a movie. Man, I'm really feeling like a HBO miniseries for that. Bioshock would be fantastic as like a miniseries, you know, limited duration, but longer than 2 hours.
Yeah, and there's definitely some video games that I think would be better movies. Like, I honestly think if we were to take Assassin's Creed and throw it into, I don't think it would do as well as a series as I think it would do much better as a movie.
Sure. Well, and they're working on an Assassin's Creed movie, I think.
Yeah. Well, how many things are they working on?
Well, sure. But I think Ubisoft was trying to make their own film studio for Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia and I don't know, a Rabbids TV show or something. I don't know.
The joke was in Assassin's Creed 4 where you basically worked at Ubisoft at their movie studio that they wish they could have in the virtual like acting space. It was
I remember for a while they even talked about Gears of War. Like, I remember hearing rumors that Gears of War might even see a movie at one point.
Movie. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, I would want that to be a movie too. Like, well, I wouldn't want it to be a movie in general. I don't think Gears of War would flourish as a movie or as a series. But if they were going to do one of either, it would be a movie.
Correct. Yep. I think that the Arkham series, like I know Batman's been done a lot, but if they got a TV show, I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they've got that Gotham TV show. We're slipping into Geeks with Wives and Capes territory.
Yeah, we are.
they've got that Gotham TV show that they're working on.
I saw a little bit about that.
So I'm not sure that that's exactly the same, but that's that they are making something kind of like that maybe. I personally am holding out hope for the Legend of Zelda movie that they made that April Fool's trailer several years ago. I'm hoping for that movie where Link never talks the entire time, and I want to see how they can move the plot forward.
Well, people were talking about that with Half-Life, right?
And Portal.
Right.
And Portal. Portal was a movie.
So David brought up a good point. I heard about this about 6 months ago. Michael Fassbender he's producing an Assassin's Creed movie and he's playing the lead. You guys hear about that?
No.
Michael
Actually,
Fassbender is a phenomenal actor.
I
To
think
get that kind of cred on a video game movie, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and so he's kind of done movies in that kind of pop space before with Magneto and that kind of thing. So I don't think it's too much of a leap going from Magneto to Assassin's Creed. They're both kind of pop, nerdy, geek culture kind of things.
Okay, here's one for you guys. Dark Souls.
Nope.
No.
Can't be done?
No.
I think it could be, but I don't think it would be enjoyable.
Okay.
I think how it should be done is that it should be a series, and then like the end of every episode should just be somebody rage quitting. Like that. Be how that series goes.
That's awesome.
Take your mic off and throw the controller.
All right, I got another one for you. Dead Space.
Yes.
Well,
series.
they have animated series, and
They do.
honestly, if they could just clean up the animation and the dialogue a little bit, those stories would be great.
Okay, I agree.
You know, I just shouted out series, but I really think 3 movies of Dead Space, like they did the video games, would actually be really badass.
That'd be cool.
They would. Have you guys ever seen Event Horizon?
No.
Oh, it's basically Dead Space.
I think Fear would also be a good
Fear?
movie. Yeah, Fear.
Yeah, it would be a good movie, especially that first game.
Yeah.
Take all the
That's
crap
a
out of
great game.
Okay, so here's another one for you guys. Where'd it go? I just saw it.
You know,
On
it'd
my
be
list.
horrible.
Joe is just looking up all video games ever.
I'm on my Steam list. I'm on
You
my
know,
Steam
it'd be
list.
horrible. Is
The Witcher.
Diablo.
That'd be
Diablo?
People are getting legendaries.
Diablo would
That'd
be
be
horrible.
great. Now think about it. Like you go and you kill the butcher, and then you get this awesome piece of gear. That'd be really cool for
And
the
you're
show.
like, so excited that you're at the theater and not playing the game, like
Yeah,
No.
dude. Okay, what do you got? Okay, be honest. Half-Life.
yeah. I don't know.
That's the
I
problem.
see the creative aspect of it. Like I want to see someone try to tackle it. I don't think it would be good, but I want to see someone try.
Yeah. I know what's on Andrew's mind right now is Super Mario Brothers. Good news, Andrew. It's been done. Google
It's
John
been done.
Leguizamo.
It's been done. It was great with an animatronic Yoshi that creeps the heck out of 3-year-olds. You know, I mean,
It's fantastic.
You know, and going back to one that you said too, Joe, The Witcher, I think would be awesome.
The Witcher would be great.
Amazing.
It has a really good lead character. It has an awesome society with the issues between the
And TV's favorite accessory, boobs.
right, and plus The Witcher looks just like the guy that plays James Bond. What's his name?
Oh, wow, we suck.
That guy. Looks just
Daniel
like
Craig.
Daniel
Daniel
Craig.
Craig. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Witcher would have to be a series, I think, and I don't know. I guess I'm thinking just
Probably.
because of how
Yeah,
Game of
well, I mean,
Thrones
because
and stuff.
there's a lot to that world. There's the novels, and then
Yeah.
the 2 games. Now the 3rd one, yeah. It's
Okay.
a lot of content.
What do you think of Far Cry 3 as a TV series
Movie. I think movie, definitely.
Movie.
with
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes, as boss.
So,
I would told you the definition of insanity.
as we're talking about different games and deciding whether or not movies or TV shows, what do you guys think would be like a determining factor in whether you want it to be a movie or a TV show?
I think for anything that's really high on action, like Far Cry, it feels like a movie, right?
Yeah.
But anything that has a really rich story to tell or rich society to reflect upon, I think it has a rich culture. I mean, a rich world. It has to be a TV series. That was my statement in the beginning.
Yeah.
Far Cry
Mass
3
Effect would
kind
make
of,
a better series than movie.
Far Cry 3 I haven't played, but it sounds like it kind of has both of those things. It has that really rich world, but also has those actiony moments.
Andrew, they don't have Far Cry 3 on the 3DS?
Why not? You know,
So
guess
Far
I gotta
Cry,
get with the times.
Far Cry 3 was great with action, but the problem is that the story that was there was like kind of watered down because you would have I would say the actual campaign for like the actual story, not the side missions, was probably like 3 hours most. But
Yeah,
they
it was
had
an
you
amazing
do
experiment, too.
all of these side stuff just to get through the missions, and that's what made the game so much longer. So that was the problem, is that it didn't really give you that really rich storyline that you were wanting, but it gave you that, like, I want to kill things, like, vibe. So that was basically it.
So
Summer
here's an
blockbuster
interesting
kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
This one's
Yeah.
interesting, potentially controversial. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hitman. It was a movie
Right.
with a good actor as a lead, but I think it'd make a better TV series. Has a Born Identity kind of feel to it.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
It'd be pretty cool. Pretty
It-
cool.
it
That
could-
sounds.
But Born Identity was a movie, so.
It can
Yeah,
have
that's
a
a
little
good
bit of
point.
that adventure of the week kind of feel.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has played this game besides me on this podcast, but I would love to see the Darkness movie.
I've played The Darkness. I think it would make a good movie.
Yeah,
It
no,
would certainly make a good anything other than a video game.
I love the video game. Get out of my face. I love the video game.
That's awesome.
You know,
Okay.
pretty much every time someone brings up video games and movies, one of the ones that everybody always talks about that we haven't brought up yet is the Uncharted games.
Yes.
That there are
Get
basically
Harrison Ford
already
to do it.
movies.
That's a good idea.
Go.
Well, you know,
Harrison
I
Ford.
think we could do something in that space.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he could be looking over like lost treasures from Christianity.
Yeah.
But he won't
Yeah.
fight Nazis. He hates Nazis.
A little Asian kid could
Snakes.
follow him
And
around.
snakes. I feel like he would hate snakes. I don't know.
But we'd have to get Gimli to be in the movie too.
Yeah.
Gimli.
But one you did bring up, and I want to bring up too, Grant, was Mass Effect. Mass Effect would be a great series.
Yeah, it would be an
Great
amazing
sci-fi
TV
series.
show.
Except we would
Seasons
never
of the
see
movie.
Grant again, ever.
Yeah.
If you're watching it. What about Max Payne?
So anything without Mark Wahlberg would be good.
Oh, that's right. There was a and the Mila Kunis girl who's like famous now.
Was that really her?
Yeah, she was in that, wasn't she?
Oh wow.
Yeah, pretty sure she was. Yeah, she's.
I
she's
thought it
really
was
popular.
I thought it was that other girl that was. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of her name.
Could be right. Okay, here's a good TV series, Metro. Metro 2033.
You're gonna have to
Metro
talk to
Last Light.
Andrew. Oh, Metro. I thought you said Metroid for a second. Metro
No.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
As a movie, like a
Big movie.
a Peter Jackson length movie, like 2-3
Interesting.
hours.
Okay. Right.
I think as an animated, even as a kid's show, what would be really cool is a Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
TV
Oh
series.
gosh, it'd be fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. Disney would clean up. How about Battleship? I'm joking. And that's not on my Steam
What
list.
about-
Just so everybody knows.
Okay, here's one I just want to throw out there. Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Uh,
It could be the new Fast and Furious.
it could. They need to
I
redo
can totally see that being a movie.
That'd be great.
Kind of a big action, yeah, like you're saying, Fast and Furious kind of thing. I can totally see that.
Dude, Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
Borderlands.
That'd be great.
Borderlands would be
There's
awesome.
so many crazy characters in that.
Oh, that'd be so good.
That'd be so great. I would really like to find a way for them to make that with kind of that cell shading art style.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of like a filter, like an Instagram movie.
Yeah. You'd have to Instagram the hell out of that movie.
All right, what do you guys think of this? It's been done already a couple of times. Tomb
Okay.
Raider.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Reboot.
I would really like to see a Tomb Raider movie
I
based
think
off of the reboot rather than the.
Yeah.
I think if we got
Exactly.
Harrison Ford to do it, it would work.
We could get Gimli to follow him around.
But actually, the character Gimli.
Compensation
no.
for my brother's horses.
No,
No camels.
I know we said Metro, but I would prefer like a Fallout series.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
God.
lie.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow
That'd be
me.
fantastic.
So good.
That'd be really good.
You know, for
Keep going. Go ahead, Andrew.
I want to jump back to Tomb Raider. Sorry, but seriously, I think what's her name? Like Camilla Luddington or whoever it is that played.
I don't know celebrities' names.
uh,
Harrison Ford.
played Laura. I think it'd be really cool to see her like in an actual Tomb
Does she
Raider.
look
movie.
like her?
She kind of did. Apparently, I was reading some kind of interview with her before the game came out, and
You know, that Juno chick would always do it.
well, you know. But she said that she was trying out for this part, and they didn't tell her it was a Tomb Raider game, but she was reading over the script, and it sounded to her like it reminded her of Lara Croft, so she showed up to the interview wearing like the shorts and the blue tank with her hair in a braid, and they were like, okay, she gets it.
That's awesome.
I think it would be really cool to kind of see that, you know, actually live action.
Yeah, either her or I would go as far as saying a no name, like just a brand new person to the screen.
Yeah. Like the reboot did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be good. Portal.
I would say Portal would have to be a movie, not a series. Though a series could be cool if they did a really like knit and gritty one, and it goes back into like when Aperture first started and stuff like that, and like what brought everything to and making GLaDOS.
Yeah.
But I think you could do it. It just would be weird. It's the whole thing of, do we make the main character talk again? And if we do, how is that going to affect video game fans and just the movie in general? Because she doesn't talk.
Right. Well, it could be cool, like you said, going back in time a little bit. So they could have characters that, you know, it's not the person who was imprisoned and trying to break out.
I think Brutal Legend with actual like Jack Black in it. That'd be
the real Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black actually in it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. That game wasn't as bad as people let on.
I haven't actually played it yet, but I've seen like clips and stuff.
It's not that bad. A little overhyped. Well, that's my list. Do you guys have anything else on your list?
Homefront would be a fantastic movie, even though it has the premise that I think movies have explored before.
Yeah, Red Dawn.
Yeah,
twice.
But anyway, I still think it's a cool.
Yeah, I got another one here. Alan Wake.
Nope.
Alice, the Alice series, the Madness Returns series.
Yeah,
that'd be a cool movie.
I'm surprised Alice hasn't had a dark reboot. That seems to be.
It did. Well, they're considering the Tim Burton take on it to be like the darker side of Alice. Like that's what they're thinking.
Kane and Lynch would be a better movie than Game, I think.
Don't have GameSpot review it. So let's go retro for a second.
Yeah.
Let's go like old school NES games. Castlevania.
Absolutely, I would love that.
As a movie,
work that whip in, get lost in a castle.
I like how straight-faced Andrew went for that really quick. He was like dead serious. I would love that.
I would love that.
All right,
that would be fantastic.
Andrew, you ready to play some lightning round?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, classic NES games. Would they make a good movie or not? We're gonna go movie, not TV show. Quick
movie,
yes or no.
Show. Okay.
Okay, this is gonna challenge you a little bit on your ability to recall old Nintendo games. Okay, ready?
Fantastic. This is great.
Okay.
I'm going to be a disaster waiting to happen.
All right, here we go. Donkey Kong.
Absolutely.
Excite Bike. No, it's just yes or no. No absolutelys, no howdy doodies. Just yes or no.
Okay.
You said doody.
No on Excite Bike.
Okay, Ghosts and Goblins.
Yes.
Kid Icarus.
Yes.
Zelda.
But if it's
no, Andrew.
Upright, that was hilarious.
All right, Metroid.
Yes.
Mario Brothers.
No.
Okay, hang on. I got two different lists here. Demon Sword. Come on, that's the one with Fabio on the cover. Remember the game with Fabio on the cover? Okay, Ninja Gaiden.
Sorry. Yes.
Mega Man.
Oh, that'd be a better TV series.
Think so?
Yeah.
That would be a great like an animated movie. That would be fantastic.
Okay, Contra.
Yes.
Bionic Commando.
If I say yes to Contra, sure.
Blaster Master.
No.
Okay. Ikari Warriors.
I don't remember that one.
Really?
No.
All right, it was the top-down two dudes going around. Okay, Dragon Warrior.
Sure.
Duck Hunt.
No.
Final Fantasy.
Trick question, already been done.
All right,
Yeah.
Willow.
Yes.
It is a movie.
I
That's a trick
know.
question. That was a trick question. Okay, last one, Rygar.
Mhm.
The guy with the shield, throws the shield.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, all right, that was not as fun as I thought it would be. All right.
Singularity, Joe.
Yes, you know I have a very fondness for Singularity. I think it's a great game. It's one of Raven's best games.
The,
I like
the
the
reason
game.
that Joe got so attached to Singularity is it's one of the few games he's ever completed in his life.
What are you talking about? I've beaten more games than you.
Oh, Darksiders.
Yeah, Darksiders would be good.
I was
do
just
that
looking at my list on
I was
that.
just making fun of your ADD. There you go.
All right, fair enough.
A really dark kind of Darksiders summer actiony kind of movie. I can totally see that.
I'm surprised Grant didn't throw out Dragon Age.
We already have Lord of the Rings.
I
Dragon Age is fine with. I'm good with keeping that as a game.
Okay, final question before we get to our final thoughts. Anybody can answer this. If Stu, friend of the show Stu, who you can find on Twitter at the Denogonizer, if he were to be the lead actor in any video game turned into a movie, what game would it be?
Minecraft. No.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
If they couldn't get, I don't know.
Anyone else?
There aren't any Hispanic lead characters to any video game. Maybe Call of Juarez.
Yeah, I could. No,
He
he would be an awful fit there because he might be Hispanic, but he's a white guy.
He could be Dom. We'll make him Dom in the next year's
Oh,
war movie.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay, done. All right, good stuff. Let's go around the horn and do our final thoughts. This is the end of the show, but not the time for you to turn off your video or your audio feed. We're going to go around the horn, and everyone's going to have 1 to 2 minutes to say anything they want about anything that they want. And we're going to start with Andrew Barton because he's on my left. Andrew, what is your final thought?
Well, just before the show started, I was actually wrapping up this week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'm not going to do any spoilers for those that haven't seen it yet. I know I tend to keep things on my DVR for far too long, but I'm really digging how they're tying this into the movies that are going on and how the events in the movies will affect the show, and hopefully soon vice versa. It's really cool to see this kind of integrated properties going on in movies and TV. As we're talking about video games, that would maybe be a cool thing to do. That's never going to happen for video games, but that being, people probably said that for comics 10 years ago. But I just think it's a really cool idea to try to tie in some of these big screen and small screen properties. So I've really been enjoying it. I don't know about you guys if you follow Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything like that, but I've been really digging it.
Awesome. I watched the first few episodes of the show, and I felt that it was just a big tease. I felt like I was being teased constantly, that at some point there was going to be a superhero or something. And
Well,
the girl's weird. I think she's a bad actress. The dude looks like a douchebag, and I can't stand him. I think he's a prick. It's something about him. I think he's a bad guy. Then you got the main guy, Agent Carter, whatever his name is, and that just feels like something stitched together. And then you got the two Jekyll and Hyde, the doctors. They're idiots. The only thing going for the show is the name.
I wish I had your level of cynicism, Joe.
Instead, he just slogged through the show. Good for you.
It's a lot of fun, man. I know what you mean about feeling teased early on. I kept waiting for, every 4 or 5 episodes, it felt like they should have, Tony Stark or Thor walk across in the background or something. But
that's not enough for Joe.
No, it would have been.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I need.
It doesn't have those kind of quick cameos very regularly, but
it has them to some frequency.
It has had both Maria Hill and
Oh.
Fury
Oh.
appear. It
Oh,
has.
dude.
Superheroes.
No, that's not what I want. I want movie level special effects. That's what I want.
It has movie level special effects, like twice per season so far. But it does have pretty cool moments and tie-ins, especially to Captain America. Now that that's really kicked off, that kind of tore everything upside down. So
That's what people keep saying. I still have to see that movie, man. This whole baby thing is just hosing me. So I can't take a 2-month-old into Captain America in the theater, right?
I'm gonna go ahead and allow it this time.
All right.
Just
Good
give
stuff.
everybody advance warning, though, because she was kind of getting a little talkative before the show tonight. So I can imagine during the movie,
Just buy every
may not be
ticket
the
now.
most popular person in the theater.
Yeah, I should buy every ticket. You're right, Grant. It's worth it. All right, thanks a lot, Andrew. Victoria, final thought.
So I wanted to know what you guys thought of this. So Nintendo's finally joining up the season pass circuit with Mario Golf. Mario Golf is going to be the first title with a season pass, which makes no sense to me. I really would have thought that maybe Super Smash Brothers, I don't know, would have gotten the season pass, but apparently we're going to go with Mario Golf.
Don't rule it out for Smash yet. I wouldn't be incredibly surprised if it did happen.
Well, yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like Mario Golf, like that's gonna be
This
like
is where they're testing the waters.
yeah, they're gonna test it Mario. Like Smash would have just made it so much easier for them, I think.
I think that maybe Smash is a little bit higher stakes than Mario Golf, so Mario Golf might actually be a good place.
Yeah, but is it really a good
with Smash
testing area? Like, how well is it going to sell anyway? Is this going to push it down even further?
I don't know that it'll push it down further, but I would be interested in seeing like the attach rates. And if there's a 10% of the people who buy Mario Golf get the season pass, and then comparing that to Smash, if Smash has a season pass,
Right.
What percentage of players will get that?
And I guess I see your point too about like not using like I guess one of Nintendo's like star titles and stuff like that, but I feel like if you're going to test a season pass, you really should test it on one that a lot of people are going to buy anyway. So like Smash or Mario Kart 8, or you know what I mean, like instead of Mario Golf. I don't know. I just feel like that's a really bad one to try to test it on. I feel like you would get better results if you tried it on one, let's just say, and if it didn't work, it didn't work. But people are still going to buy the game anyway because it's Super Smash and it's Mario Kart.
Well, Nintendo is also has this reputation for not wanting to spend a lot of money on things, I think, and so it may be that they don't want to spend the money to have a quote unquote test case on Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, and it may be a little bit of a lower barrier to entry for them to try it on Mario Golf before it actually they ramp it up for one of the big tentpole franchises. That being said, I'm maybe a little bit pulling this out of my butt. So what do I know? I'm just some guy on some podcast, right? So
not just some podcast. You may be some guy. Say some podcast.
Thank you, Joe. Not some podcast.
Grant, what do you have for us?
So I'm a huge Greenlight guy. I look through most of them. I watch all the trailers and vote them up or down. It's usually down. And I just haven't had the time recently to look through them because there's thousands now. When I was first looking through them, there was 1,100. Now I think there's probably closer to like 3,000, which is ridiculous. But I was running across them last night, and I came across one that I wanted to highlight because it's such a funny idea, and it looks fun too, just genuinely as a game. It's called Prisonscape, and it's a top-down, old-school-looking game, 16-bit graphics. You play a prison mate, and you kind of survive in a prison environment. I don't think the object is to escape. I think it's just to kind of survive in a hostile environment in a prison. And there's like a crafting system where you can get like a razor blade and a toothbrush and make a shiv and stuff like that. And I don't know, it seems really lighthearted and cool.
You really like crafting in games, I've noticed.
I do. I like Far Cry 3, like we talked about earlier. One of the best crafting systems ever. Not because it was incredibly deep, but because it was super simple. And I could just look at what I need, go find it, and make my damn item.
Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I have a small story for my final thought. So I had to get a toner today for my printer, and I was in desperate need of ink, toner. So I went to Best Buy. And yeah. So after I wanted to visit V to cancel a pre-order, so I went over to Best Buy, and I am approached by a guy to help me out. He's probably like 40, and he said, "What can I help you with?" I stay in the toner aisle. Hey, I need to get a toner. Okay, what's the model number of your printer? And so I get in the model number. He said, "Okay, great. I'm going to go to the computer. And I'm going to look it up." And I said, "Well, hang on. Aren't these all the toners that you have?" He said, "Yeah, this is the complete stock." There's 5. He says, "Let me go to the computer. I'll be right back." I said, "Well, no. Let's just look at the boxes and we'll split them in half, right? We'll look to see if my model number is on the box." He said, "No, that'll take too long. This will be a lot faster."
How far away was the computer?
So I knew it was not going to be faster, but I thought, I've got a show tonight. This could make a great story, so I'm going to go with it. So I go over to the guy onto the computer. The first computer freezes on him.
Oh my
God. The second computer is being occupied by some dude, and like a customer was using it. And then the third computer he went over to, and he starts going on there. He's like, "Are you sure it's your model number?" And I said, "Yeah." And I brought it up on my phone. I had it on Amazon, and it had the cartridge, the toner number too that you need to buy. And I had the whole thing right there. And you could look up either the cartridge number, which again is over in the aisle, or you could just type in the number here. And so he goes, he finds it, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to have to order this one for you online. Looks like we don't carry it in store." I said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to go to the aisle and double check, and then I'm going to leave." He said, "Well, let me order it for you online because we definitely don't have it here." I said, "Okay, well, I need it today, like I told you, so I'm just going to go to a different store and buy it." He said, "Well, I really don't want to lose your business. I mean, this guy, he makes like a minimum wage at Best Buy. He's going to lose my business."
No commission, man. Yeah.
All right, exactly. So I said, "Okay, I understand, but it's like $50. I don't really care. I'm going to go to the aisle and check it." So he goes, "Okay, good luck." So I walk over the aisle. I check the boxes. Sure enough, my toner that I need is not there. So I start walking all the way down the aisle back to the entrance of the store, and he kind of tracks me down and goes, "So no luck, right?" I said, "Yeah, I wasn't there." And he looks at me and he goes, "Yep, I told you the computer would tell us the truth." I was like, "You told me the computer would tell us the truth." Am I on hardball? What is going on? This is insane. This guy works at Best Buy. Why is he so invested? So anyway, I went to Office Depot, and within 5 minutes I had my toner. So there you go. That's the story. That was my day.
Wow. I'm going to start doing that at GameStop.
Maybe you would have found your toner at Best Buy if you had just picked up your game. Just say karma.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe so. All right. Well, that does it for episode 134 of the Geeks with Wise podcast. I want to thank Victoria, Grant, and Andrew for being part of the show. A big thanks to David Stambra for taking the time out at his parents' house while he's on vacation and be on our podcast. Sorry it didn't work out, but we will do a special interview, one-on-one, audio only, with David. Probably tomorrow. We'll get it posted soon, where all of your questions about his voice work and motion capture work for InFamous Second Son will be answered. And if you want to find us, you could look us up on Twitter at Geeks with Wives. We're also on Facebook. Just search Geeks with Wives. That's what people usually do, and they find us. You can also find us on the internet, the World Wide Web. The internet, as Kenny likes to say, geekswithwives.com. We are all about video games, comic books, cosplay, computer and video game hardware. Did I miss anything, guys?
Nope.
No.
Awesome. We're about all that crap, and if you want to be a part of it, we'd love to have you. Just let us know. You can email us at askus@geekswithwise.com. Let's go around the horn real quickly and give us your Twitter handles. Andrew.
ACBARTON08.
Victoria.
At Nightmare Vixen.
Grant.
Grant, it is.
Or Grantitis. And I am at Joe Barhoum, Barhoum. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll catch you all next week.